Gilmore was talking about. The other sophomore will be 6'5" sophomore Don Polite. And these are two good boys. They are tough inside. And rounding out the starting team will be Captain Pete Morozic, a 6'1" senior. The rest of the Weston team will show Eric Betchel, a 6'2" junior, Paul McGaughey, a 6' senior, Bill Bradford, a 6'3" sophomore, and Dave McMorrow, a 6'2" junior. That rarely go beyond 4 ball players in the Weston lineup. Starting lineup for Sacred Heart will show Anthony Perry in one of the guard spots. He is a 6' senior. Sacred Heart will be starting all seniors. It looks like Craig Wood will be starting for the Hearts tonight. He is a 5'9" senior. Henry Brown at 6'4" in the center spot. And in the forward positions, Calvin Glenn at 6'3" and Dave Franks at 6'4". Rounding out the rest of the lineup for Sacred Heart and reserve capacities, we'll see Ozzie Majel, who's done a great job in the tournament. And CIAC State Championship basketball time between High School Band, Wayne Johnson, director, Garrett Savlik on the trumpet, and Amy Fowler for our final 32 minutes of basketball over WATR in the 1983-84 basketball season. State Championship time. Here come the Hearts, and here comes Connecticut's 3-time Sports Broadcaster of the Year, Al Vestro.
Thank you very much, Allie. Out at center court, John Fontana ready to make the opening toss. The tap is tapped over this side and knocked out of bounds and touched last, I believe, by Craig Wood. No, correction. It was touched last by Weston. So it's going to be the Hearts ball shooting at the basket to our right here in the first half. Over the far side, Wood gets the ball, passes off in the corner to Calvin Glenn. Glenn closely got it, pass off to Frank. Frank closely got it to Henry Brown in the far side corner. Back out it comes to Calvin Glenn outside the foul circle now to Craig Wood. Hearts moving the ball around, looking to get an opening. And Weston is using looks like a 2-1-2 zone defensively, shifting. Pass over the far side, thrown away by the Hearts. First turnover of the ball game, and that, of course, does not sit well with Coach Eddie Generali, who was up immediately and unhappy at the Hearts throwing the ball away without even getting a shot at the hoop. Down over the middle of the forecourt comes Weston's Doug Jones. Jones with it deep out of midcourt, flips over this side on the other side of Raucher. Raucher to Jones out near midcourt. Over the far side it goes into the corner to Morozic. Morozic back to Jones, back over the far side to Morozic. Morozic back to Jones outside the foul circle. Jones over this side to number 24, Raucher. Raucher shoots it up, misses the rebound, picked up by Calvin Glenn. A minute has gone by here in the first quarter. No score as yet. The Hearts with the ball down over the middle of the forecourt over the far side. Goes Craig Wood with the ball. Wood looking around, pass over the far side corner to Calvin Glenn. Glenn closely got it to Anthony Perry. Cross this side it comes to Craig Wood. Wood pass off underneath. It goes to Dave Franks. Shoots it up and good. Dave Franks double teamed and they got the ball up there and in. Hearts lead 2-0. Down over the middle and near side into the forecourt with the ball come the Trojans from Weston. Over the far side, the ball is passed off to Jones. Jones over this side to Raucher. Raucher back to Jones over the far side. It goes to Morozic. Morozic over this side to Raucher. Down to Jackson, shoots it up and in. Score is all tied, 2-2. Hearts with the ball down over the middle of the forecourt. Over the far side, it goes into the corner to Calvin Glenn. Glenn with a 10-foot jumper from the corner. Good! Well, the Hearts lead 4-2. And about 2 minutes have gone by here in the first quarter. With the ball, Doug Jones quickly into the forecourt over the far side. Passes off in the corner. Morozic back out. It comes to Jones. Jones with the ball outside the foul circle over the far side of Morozic again. Morozic back out to Jones. Then Jones is called traveling. And the Hearts will take over on the Weston turnover. Hearts will take inbound the ball from the far side in the backcourt. Inbounds play comes from Craig Wood to Anthony Perry. Perry very leisurely getting the ball down. Now passes cross court into the forecourt. It comes over this side of Perry. Cross court over the far side to Craig Wood. Wood starts the drive, passes over this side to Perry. Perry loses the ball momentarily, picks it up again, passes off to Henry Brown. Brown being double teamed quickly, looks around, passes off to Perry. Perry on the near side. Now starts to drive over the far side, pass off to Craig Wood, and there's a traveling violation call against the Hearts. That is the Hearts' second turnover. Weston has come up with 1 turnover thus far in the first quarter. 5:20 left to go in the first quarter. Full court press being put on by Sacred Heart now. Over the far side, however, in the forecourt come the Weston Trojans with the ball. Doug Jones over the far side of Morozic. Set, shoots it up and good. The score is all tied. Long pass down court. Pass off. The pass knocked out of bounds by their own hoop. Pass comes in to Brown. Brown to Calvin Glenn over the far side of Perry. Perry's quick jumper is up and missed, but there's a foul call. Foul is called against Jones. That is his first. Not a shooting foul, I don't believe. It is going to be a foul, a shooting foul, as Anthony Perry was fouled as he was taking the shot. So he'll go to the free throw line to take a pair. Shot is up and cleanly through. So the Hearts move ahead again, 5-4. Perry moves up to the free throw line for his second try. Shot is up and cleanly through again. Hearts lead 6-4. Hearts in the full court press in the backcourt. Jones with the ball. Closely got it on the near side. Still in the backcourt. Bounces cross-court pass over the far side of Morozic. And over this side it comes into the corner to Polite. Polite back out to Jones. Jones out near midcourt, deep on the midcourt. Bounce pass over this side of Roucher. Roucher to Jones. Jones shoots. No, he passed the pass. Stolen by Calvin Glenn. Glenn driving all the way down. Lays it up and off the rim. No good in the blocking foul call against Doug Jones. That is his second. Calvin Glenn will go to the free throw line for a pair. Allie, I thought for a moment Calvin was going to slam dunk it.
Yeah, Jones was just a little bit too much in front of him and kept Calvin pushed out a little bit too much to the left side of the hoop for Calvin to get in for good stuff.
All right. Glenn at the free throw line with the first of two. The shot is up, cleanly through. Hearts with their biggest lead, 7-4. Allie?
I think the Hearts could have used this stuff, though, because the tension is still very great here.
No question about that. Second shot, good again. All right, 8-4. Hearts lead by 4. 4:34 left to go in the first quarter. Jones in the backcourt has the ball knocked out of his hands. Picked up by Dave Franks. Franks to Glenn. Lays it up and in. Now, wait a minute. The foul committed before. Maybe the basket will not count. Foul was committed by Doug Jones. That is his third. And Weston immediately calls for a timeout. We'll take timeout for this message on lightning-like guard for this Weston team.
Yeah, he is, AV, and, you know, the Hearts may have had to do without that basket that they made, but I think it's just as important that they picked up that foul on Jones. Weston is not that deep in guards, and guards certainly control the Weston team. You heard Johnny Gilmore talking before. They work around the outside. They're very quick, very speedy, and this could help Sacred Heart in the long run.
Okay, Hearts ball, inbounding it. It comes into Dave Franks. Outside the foul circle to Craigwood. Over the side of Perry. Perry, a long shot. Good! A 20-footer from outside. And Anthony Perry puts the Hearts ahead 10-4 with the ball. Down over the middle. In the forecourt comes Polite with the ball. Passes, or rather to Jackson. Jackson passes out near midcourt now to number 24, Roucher. Roucher over this side of Polite. Back to Roucher. Roucher over the far side. Pass underneath. Goes to Bechtel, who's come into the ballgame in place of Jones. Over this side it comes to Jackson. Shoots it up, misses the rebound. Picked up by Calvin Glenn. Glenn to Anthony Perry. Perry with the ball down over the middle. Gets it in the forecourt outside the foul circle. Passes over this side now to Craig Wood. Wood fakes the shot. Passes off now to Brown. Brown turns, shoots it up, hits the rim, bounds off. Rebound underneath is stolen by Anthony Perry. Right out of the hands of Jackson. Perry to Craig Wood. Wood outside the foul circle. Looking around. Holds the ball. Now passes off to Perry at the far side. Perry starts the drive. Now he shoots, and let's see, was there a foul call? I believe there was. Foul was against Dave Roucher, or Morozic. It was against Roucher. Dave Roucher, that's his first. Fourth team foul for Weston already in the ballgame. Next foul committed by Weston will go to the Sacred Heart team. A 1-and-1 from the free throw line. Inbounds pass comes to Henry Brown. Brown to Wood. Over the far side to Perry. Perry's jump shot hits the rim, bounds off. Rebound by Dave Franks, and there's a foul call against number 42, Bechtel. Oh, it was against Polite. Polite's first, and now that is the 15th foul. Now let's see whether Dave Franks is fouled on the act of shooting. All right, Dave Franks will take a 1-and-1. He's not fouled on the act of shooting. Dave at the free throw line, getting ready for the first one, which is the important one. The shot is up and off the side. No good. The rebound picked up by Jackson. Jackson passes off to Morozic. Morozic flips off to Roucher. Roucher over the far side in the corner to Morozic. Morozic now passes off in the corner at the far side. Gets a pass back outside the foul circle. Over this side it comes to Polite. Polite in the deep corner. Throws it over the fingertips and almost out of bounds over Morozic's hands. Nice save by Morozic. Pass over this side now to Polite. Polite goes driving and shoots it up. The ball shot is blocked by Dave Franks. Lead pass down court to Anthony Perry. Perry's pass, he's called traveling. Hearts lead early in the ball game, 10-4, but a lot of time left to go in this ball game. 2:44 left to go in the first quarter. In the forecourt with the ball comes Roucher. Roucher with it outside the foul circle. Bounce passes off to Jackson. Drives in, shoots it up, and good. Right over the head of Henry Brown. Well, it's a 10-6 ball game. Anthony Perry down over the midcourt mark into the forecourt quickly. Passes over the side in the corner to Henry Brown. Brown closely got it, being double teamed. Now passes out to Perry. Perry outside the foul circle. Closely got it by Bechtel. Passes off to Craig Wood at the far side. Back out it comes to Dave Franks now outside the foul circle. Cross court over this side of Perry. Perry set, shoots up a long one. No good. The rebound pulled right out of the air by Weston. The shot is blocked in the air by Henry Brown, knocked out of bounds. Fine defensive play by Henry Brown. The ball will go out of bounds, and it'll go to Weston. Coming into the ball game now for the Hearts is Fernando Dickens. Inbounds pass comes to Morozic. Morozic to Jackson. Shoots it up. Misses. Rebound by Calvin Glenn. Lead pass down court. Goes to Perry. Drives all the way in. Shoots it up. No good. A follow-up is good by Fernando Dickens. Hearts lead by 6 again. 12-6. A minute 42 left to go on the first quarter. In the forecourt quickly. Bechtel. And the ball knocked out of bounds by Fernando Dickens, as Polite looked like he was going to go right down the middle and up for an easy over-the-rim layup. Fine defensive play by Fernando Dickens, who's just come in to replace Greg Wood. Inbounds, the ball comes to Morozic. Morozic's pass deflected and picked up by Henry Brown. So the Hearts have the ball. Brown passes off to Dickens. Dickens straight down the middle, gets it into the forecourt, slows the pace down now. Minute 24 left to go in the first quarter. Hearts lead 12-6. Over the far side it goes to Calvin Glenn in the corner. Glenn has the ball knocked out of his hands, picks it up again, passes over this side to Perry. Perry looking around, pass up to Brown underneath, lays it up and in. Nice pass. Beautiful play by the Hearts. Pass over the side in the forecourt to Polite. Polite driving in the forecourt. The ball rolling loose, but picked up by Bechtel, and he's called on a double dribble. Bechtel picked up the ball, dribbled it once, stopped his dribble, then started to dribble again. And that is an illegal dribble. The Hearts take over. Ozzie Major coming into the ball game, replacing Dave Franks. With a minute 2 left to go in the first quarter. The Hearts lead 14-6. Fernando Dickens with the ball, getting it down over the middle very slowly now. Maybe the Hearts going to look for that last shot or a man open for the easy layup. In the forecourt, Perry gets the ball at the far side, looks around. Now calls for his teammates to come out, and Fernando Dickens comes out, and now see what the call is. 5-second violation call against the Hearts. So they come up with a turnover. 39 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Weston with the ball. Roucher brings it down over the middle of the forecourt, over the far side, passes off to Morozic in the corner. Now a pass over this side, into the corner to Morozic on this side. Sets, shoots it up, no good. The rebound picked up by Calvin Glenn. What a tremendous leap by Calvin Glenn to pick up that ball. 22 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Glenn to Dickens deep out in the midcourt. Dickens dribbling the ball, looking around. 15 seconds, 14 seconds, 13 seconds, 11 seconds, 10 seconds. Henry Brown with the ball, looking around. Now passes off to Dickens. Dickens driving down the middle lane. Underhand layup, no good. The rebound underneath and knocked out of bounds with 2 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Weston takes the ball out. Bechtel takes it out, passes in. There's a long, you might call a long one-hand throw down court. And it's nowhere near the basket. The score at the end of the first quarter, Hearts lead 14-6. Here's Gary Peterson.
Control at this point, but they haven't opened up as far as I'm concerned, like I know they can.
Okay, the tap in midcourt is knocked out of bounds. And a Weston player I think it was Morozic, tried to keep the ball from going out of bounds. He knocked down some of the metal barriers to keep the crowd from coming out on the floor. He wasn't injured, and it'll be the Hearts ball. The inbounds play comes to Fernando Dickens. Over the far side, it goes to Calvin Glenn. Glenn closely guarded by Morozic. Passes off to Henry Brown. Brown shoots it up, and no good. The rebound underneath. There's a foul call against Fernando Dickens. That's the first foul of the ball game for Sacred Heart. Ozzie Majul comes out of the ball game. Dave Franks comes in for the Hearts. Hearts are in a full court press again. Inbounds pass comes to Jones, who's back in the ball game. Jones to Polite. Polite in the forecourt. Pass off is up and missed. The shot is partially blocked by Henry Brown. The loose ball picked out of the air by Calvin Glenn. So the Hearts bring it down with Anthony Perry getting it in the forecourt, passing out the midcourt to Dickens. Dickens goes outside the foul circle. Over this side it comes to Calvin Glenn. Glenn being double teamed, passes cross court to Anthony Perry. Perry passes. The ball hits the backboard and goes out of bounds. That's 5 turnovers for the Hearts here in the first half so far. Second quarter just getting underway here. A pass to Polite. Polite with the ball. Gets it down over the middle into the forecourt. Passes off to Jackson. Jackson lays it up, misses. And the Henry Brown, another tremendous block by Henry. Not only blocked the ball, but he came down with it. And he passes off into the forecourt. It comes to Dickens again. Over this side to Perry. Perry with the ball, and there's an offensive charge foul. No, the ball went out of bounds. No charge. Another turnover for the Hearts. 6 turnovers for the Hearts. And that's one thing I know that Coach Eddie Generali wanted to avoid. Anthony Perry has come out of the ball game for the Hearts. And coming in is Craig Wood. In the forecourt with the ball. Over the side, Jackson with it. With the ball, passes out in the midcourt to Jones. Jones outside the foul circle. Bounce pass over the far side to Morozic. He shoots it up, no good. The ball pulled out of the air by Henry Brown. Brown to Craig Wood. Wood with the ball, driving in the forecourt all the way in. Banks it up, no good. Rebound up and good by Calvin Glenn. What a tremendous follow-up. Seems like Calvin went flying up after that rebound and dropped it right over the rim and through. Hearts lead 16-6 in the forecourt with the ball. Over the far side with the ball. Polite shoots it up, no good. The rebound picked up by Henry Brown, and he is fouled by Dave Raucher. That is Raucher's second, and Brown will go to the free throw line for a 1-and-1 for the Hearts. Anthony Perry coming back into the ball game now for the Hearts. And he replaces Fernando Dickens. A time is called, and the Hearts leading 16-6 with 6:19 left to go in the first half. Here is Gary Peters with a message.
That's right. It's been a long season, AV. It's 60 ball games. Right now, Henry Brown at the foul line. Henry Brown has just been intimidating on the defensive side for Sacred Heart. He's blocked about 4 or 5 shots already, and he's got those players thinking twice before they go up with a shot.
Shot from the foul line is missed. Follow-up shot is good by Anthony Perry. Cross-court pass to Jones. Jones quickly in the forecourt, still driving. Comes back out as he drove in, then comes back out again as the Hearts very quickly set up their defense. Over this side it comes into the corner to Raucher. Now to Jones over the far side of Morozic. Morozic in the corner at the far side of Polite. Polite back out to Morozic. Now to Jones. Over this side it comes to Raucher. Raucher with the ball. Back out to Jones outside the foul circle. Jones playing with 3 personal fouls on him already for Weston. Passes off on this side to Raucher. Back to Jones outside the foul circle. Over the far side it goes to Morozic again. Morozic in the corner. Looks around. Passes out to Jones outside the foul circle. Jones now a long shot up. No good. Rebound up. Back out to Jones. And he's called traveling. Well, of course, the Hearts don't mind how long that the Weston team runs the clock out there. They want to run the clock, and the Hearts got the lead. The Hearts say, it's okay with us, fellas. We'll let you run the clock down on us. 18-6 the score. Hearts have the ball. In the forecourt, well, still in the backcourt is Craig Wood. Now passes off in the forecourt to Perry. Perry with the ball. Crashes over the far side. Now to Franks. Franks into Calvin Glenn. Turns, shoots it up. Good from the deep corner. Calvin Glenn with a beauty. Has 8 points. That makes it a 20-6 ball game. And so far, the Hearts have things pretty much under control, but don't sell this Weston team short. They're a good ball club. They're 21-3 for the season. In the forecourt with the ball. Weston moving it around outside the foul circle. Jones with it. Passes underneath. Ball stolen by Henry Brown. Passes off to Calvin Glenn. Let's see. There was a traveling violation called against the Hearts. Unfortunately, the Hearts have themselves another easy bucket. But it will not count. 20-6 the score. Remains that way. 4:50 left to go in the first half. Down over the middle of forecourt come the Weston Trojans. Over the far side, Morozic with the ball. Passes out to Roucher. Shoots it up short. The rebound is up and no good. Rebound underneath, and there's a battle for the ball and a foul call against Morozic, I believe. That's Morozic's first. And Dave Franks will go to the free throw line to take a 1-and-1 for the Hearts. 4:38 left to go in the first half. Frank's shot is up and missed. The rebound is picked up by Jackson. Jackson to Bechtel, who's in the ball game now, replacing Jones. Pass over this side into the corner to Roucher. Roucher back out to over the far side to Morozic. Morozic pivoting around. Doesn't know what to do with the ball. Finally passes over this side to Bechtel. Bechtel now to Polite. Polite passes off the ball. Is stolen by Henry Brown again. Henry Brown doing a fantastic defensive job for Sacred Heart here in this first half. He has been absolutely unbelievable with his defensive play. In the forecourt come the Hearts. Brown has it on the near side corner. Pass out to Craig Wood. Wood with the ball to Anthony Perry. Perry backs out toward midcourt now. Passes over the side to Wood. Wood shoots it up and good from 15 feet up at the side. The Hearts continue to pile on the lead, leading 22-6 in the first half with 3:40 left to go in the first half. Over this side in the forecourt, Polite with the ball. Pass off to Roucher. Over the far side it goes to Morozic. He shoots it up on the fly. No good. Rebound out near midcourt or outside the foul circle. The pass is picked up by the Hearts. Lead pass down court to Calvin Glenn. Slam dunks it. And everybody in the place knew Calvin was going to slam dunk it, as he had about a 10-yard lead on everybody in the gym. And the Hearts fans love it. In the forecourt at the far side, Morozic with the ball. Pass outside the foul circle. Over this side it comes to Polite. Back to Roucher. He shoots it up and good. Nice shot by Roucher. And that makes it a 24-8 ball game. Long pass down court to Henry Brown. Henry closely got it. Shoots it up anyway. No good. The rebound is picked up by Morozic for Weston. 2:50 left to go in the first half. Bring the ball down. Roucher passes over this side into the corner. Polite. Over the far side it goes to Morozic. He sets. Shoots it up. Good. And Weston making a little comeback now. Trailing 24-10. And Bechtel in a full court press as Perry gets the ball down over the middle in the forecourt. Over the far side. Pass off. In the corner goes to Calvin Glenn. Hearts have got to be careful. That's a turnover as Calvin Glenn stepped on the baseline. And now the Hearts are going to call a timeout because Weston has scored 2 consecutive hoops, and the Hearts don't want Weston to get on a roll here, all right? Here is Gary Peters with a message from our sponsor. Okay, Allie, the Hearts have a 14-point lead. In a moment, it might be 12. I'll tell you, a 12 or 14-point lead as far as I'm concerned, and you and I know the high school basketball such as it is, I would never relax unless I knew there was just about a minute left to play in the ball game.
That's right, A.V. They just had an 18-point lead, and it was cut down to a 14-point lead. And Weston has the ball now coming in. That's why Eddie Generelli called timeout. Hearts get a little bit sloppy when they get ahead, and the game seems to be reaching a little bit of a lull, but now I'm sure Eddie kind of shook the Hart team up, trying to get them back to where they were playing before.
Okay, Doug Jones back in the ball game for Weston. He's their speedy playmaker. Passes off in the forecourt over the far side. It goes to Jackson. Jackson lays up. Shot is blocked in the air by Dave Franks or Calvin Glenn. And a foul on the play. That is Glenn's first personal foul. Second team foul for the Hearts. However, foul in the act of shooting was Tony Jackson, 6'5" forward for Weston. He'll go to the free throw line to take a pair. Jackson shoots it up, short, hits the rim, bounds off. 2 minutes, 13 seconds left to go in the first half. At halftime, we expect to have Mike Savage, the CIC State Tournament Director, up here as Allie's halftime guest. Second shot is good, and it's a 24-11 ball game. Allie?
By the way, we should mention that Hill House defeated Wilbur Cross for the N.V.L championship at 12 o'clock today.
All right, the score was 70-60. In the forecourt come the Hearts. Craig Wood, cross-court pass over the side, Anthony Perry. Perry, pass off to Henry Brown over the far side. Brown lost the ball momentarily. Pass off to Franks. Franks to Glenn. Perry shoots it up and good from the outside of the foul circle. 26-11. A minute 48 left to go in the first half. 8 points for Anthony Perry in this afternoon's ball game. Jug Jones passes cross-court to Rauscher. Rauscher in the forecourt corner at the far side to Polite. Polite closely got it. Can't get off a shot. Passes back out to Jones. Over this side it comes to Morozic. Morozic to Jones. Jones starts the drive. Now pass off to Morozic. He sets, shoots it up. No good. The rebound picked up by Henry Brown. And the Hearts have possession. Brown passes off to Calvin Glenn. Glenn gets it slowly down over the middle of the forecourt. Weston sets up its defensive pattern. Over the side it comes now to Craig Wood. He sets, shoots it up. Good! A 25-footer from the side by Craig Wood. And the Hearts have picked up a 17-point lead in the forecourt of the ball. Jackson driving, stops his drive. Now passes back out again. On the midcourt it goes to Jones. Jones starting the drive. Goes in, comes back out again. Passes off to Rauscher. Rauscher over the far side. Over this side, Rauscher gives and shoots a one-hander up on the fly. Good. A nice move by Dave Rauscher to make it a 28-13 ball game. There are 40 seconds left to go in the first half. Hearts lead by 15. Pass over the side in the forecourt now comes to Anthony Perry. Perry cross-court pass over the far side to Craig Wood. 30 seconds left to go in the first half. Hearts moving the ball around. Perry in the forecourt corner on the near side of Calvin Glenn. Back out it comes to Perry. Perry at the side, looking around. Passes off to Henry Brown. Goes in underneath. Lays it up and good. Nice pass, and the Hearts look for their man underneath. That's tremendous teamwork on the part of this Sacred Heart Ball Club. Hearts lead 30-13. 8 seconds left to go in the first half. Shot on the fly is up and good by Rauscher. A pretty shot on the fly. 2 seconds left. Long shot by Perry is up and just misses. In the last game against Weston, just before halftime, Perry dropped a shot in from midcourt, and that gave the Hearts a 6-point lead at halftime, a lead which they never relinquished and perhaps inspired the club to go on to win that first ball game. The score at the end of the first half, Sacred Heart 30, Weston 15. But as I said before, folks, 15 points does not mean a thing with still 16 minutes left to go. We're going to have to wait until we get down to the last minute or two of play of this ball game before Allie lights that candy cigar of his. Okay, Gary.
Final 16 minutes of basketball for WATR this year. Here's Al Vestro.
Okay, Allie, and I must caution you and all of our listeners, still a lot of basketball left, and Weston gets the tap here to start off the second half. This is a team that can come from behind. They did it against St. Paul. They're down by 10 points in the forecourt with the ball. Jones driving in, lays it up and in. 30-17. Weston has come out really gunning, and they're looking to cut into that Sacred Heart lead. No question about that. In the forecourt, Craig Wood over the far side to Perry. Hart shooting at the basket to our left here in the second half. Hart's got to be careful not taking bad shots and not let Weston cut down on that lead. We remember last night, Perry over the far side with the ball, over the side to Craig Wood. Wood to Perry. Perry starts the drive. Passes off to Brown. Brown lays it up. No good. The rebound rolling loose on the floor. Picked up by Craig Wood. He turns, sets, shoots it up. No good. Rebound by Calvin Glenn. Glenn passes off. Ball stolen from him by Rauscher. And these are the things that can turn a ball game around. Last night, Terryville had something like a 12 or 13-point lead, and Cromwell came right back to cut the lead right down to 1 point. So anything can happen in state championship basketball. These are good teams. If they weren't, they wouldn't be here playing for the state title. There's a foul call against Henry Brown. Was it Henry Brown or Perry? I can't see. It was Anthony Perry. A shooting foul going to be taken by Don Polite, 6'5" forward for Weston. Hearts have not scored yet here in the second half. Minute 14 has gone by. Shot in the foul line is up and good by Polite. And there goes another point off the lead. Now the Hearts lead has been cut down to 12. 30-18. Second shot is up and off the side. No good. The rebound is picked up by Brown. Brown with the ball. Passes off to Craig Wood. Wood gets it down over the middle. You see, well, the Hearts have got to be careful about getting overconfident and kind of letting up. They've got to stay in there intense, and they've got to not take shots that are too far from the outside, because if they miss, the other team is underneath. They get the ball, and the Hearts have a chance of losing 2 points at a time. It can make a big difference in the ball game. In the forecourt with the ball, pass off to Calvin Glenn, lays it up and in. So the Hearts finally get on the scoreboard, and it's a 32-18 ball game. Down over the middle in the forecourt comes Doug Jones for the Trojans of Weston. Over the far side it goes to Morozic in the corner, back outside the foul circle to Jones. Over this side the ball is kicked out of bounds by Anthony Perry. 32-18. 5:57 left to go in the third quarter. With the ball now, Jones on the inbounds pass. Bounce passes over the side in the corner to Rocher. Rocher now to Jackson. Jackson back out to Rocher. Rocher to Jones. Jones over the side to Rocher. Rocher looks around, passes cross-court over the far side of Morozic. He passes off underneath. The ball is rolling loose and picked up by the Hearts. Lead pass to Anthony Perry. Perry driving all the way in, lays it up and good. Beautiful play and a beautiful lead pass and a tremendous drive by Anthony Perry. Hearts in a full-court press. The ball stolen by Calvin Glenn, and he passed off to Dave Franks, and Franks made the layup. And the ball almost stolen again out near midcourt, but knocked out of bounds by the Hearts. And Weston calls for a timeout. The Hearts have got their lead again, 36-18, 5:20 left to go. Here's Gary Frank. Hey, Gary, I'm sorry. Your name isn't Franks, is it? It's Peters, huh? In the heat of the ball game, you'll have to bear with me, because at times I do get a little excited, and it isn't very often that we have a team that's battling for the state championship and has a chance to win it. Allie, it's 17 years since we broadcast the Sacred Heart team winning the state title in 1967. That's a long time ago.
It's a long time between dips to the salad bowl, I'll tell you.
Absolutely. And before that, it was back to 1953 when Wilby won the state championship. So you can see
we've come so close over the past 3 years. We've had Holy Cross up there a couple of times. We've had Wilby there, we had Crosby there. We've had
all of them in the finals.
All in the finals, and boy, just missing, and. Hopefully tonight it'll be it.
We hope. All right, in the forecourt, Weston with the ball. Jones passes the ball, stolen by Calvin Glenn. Calvin Glenn driving all the way in, lays up it. He slam dunks it again. The Hart fans go crazy. 38-18 the score. In the forecourt with the ball. Polite dribbling around, turns, passes off underneath to Jackson, hooks it up and in. 38-20. Long pass down court to Bobby Brown. Passes off to Henry Brown. Passes off to Calvin Glenn, and he is fouled. And you'll have to bear with me if I call Brown Bobby Brown, because we had Bobby Brown playing for Terryville all night last night, and man, he played a tremendous ball game along with all of those Terryville Kangaroos. Of course, Terryville is a mighty happy town today. They're the Class S state champions. At the free throw line, Calvin Glenn's shot is up and missed. He'll get another. 4:43 left to go in the third quarter here at Central Connecticut State University Gym. Kaiser Hall, they call it. Second shot missed, very unusual. Calvin Glenn missed 2 in a row from the free throw line. The Weston team comes down with the ball in the forecourt. Morozic over the far side corner, closely got it, passes off, and there's an offensive charge called against Tony Jackson. That is Jackson's first personal foul. Hearts will inbound it. Dave Franks inbounds to Anthony Perry. Perry along the far side, gets it down over the middle in the forecourt. Passes cross-court over this side to Craig Wood. Back over the far side, it goes to Perry. Perry with a quick jump shot on the fly. Good! What a move. What a jump by Anthony Perry. Harts in a full-court press. Bounce pass in the backcourt. Harts are double-teaming the ball handler. Now the pass cross-court goes out of bounds on the near side. And the Harts full-court press caused the turnover by Weston. And these are the little things that can help turn the tide of a ball game into a landslide. 40-20 the score. Harts lead by 20. In the forecourt, pass to Perry. Shoots it up. Good from the deep corner. Anthony Perry. How many has Anthony got, Allie? 14 points for Anthony Perry in tonight's ball game. Lead pass in the forecourt. And the shot is up and good. And let's see. No foul. The basket was made by Polite. It's a 42-22 ball game. Harts with the ball in the forecourt. Anthony Perry pivoting around over the near side, goes into the corner, comes back out, looks around, pass off to Dave Franks, over the side to Perry again on the near side corner. Hart shooting in the basket to our left here in the second half. 3 minutes, 28 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Pass into Brown. Brown closely got it, banks it up and in. Beautiful move by Henry Brown. And the Harts have doubled the Weston score again, 44-22. Weston in the forecourt. Shot is up and good by Dan Polite. 44-24. 3:08 left to go in the third quarter. Down over the middle of the forecourt comes Anthony Perry. Eddie Generali, Sacred Heart coach, signaling his ball players what to do out there. Now Perry, a long shot from way out, hits the rim, bounds off, rebound, picked up by Perry, goes in, shoots it up, and good, and he was fouled on the play. Perry got his own rebound. He went in with it, laid it up, the ball teetered on the rim, and finally dropped forward and through, and Perry will go to the free throw line, see if he can make it a three-point play. 16 points for Anthony Perry. Who committed the foul, Allie? Tony Jackson? And it's Jackson's third personal foul, 46-24. That's the score. Harts at the free throw line. Anthony Perry shooting it up and hits the rim, bounds off. The rebound is picked up by Morozic. He passes off to Raucher. Raucher with the ball, passes off to Jones. Jones down over the middle, gets it to the forecourt. Passes cross-court over the side in the corner. Underneath it goes. The shot is blocked by Henry Brown. Follow-up shot is missed, but there's a foul call against Henry Brown. Or, no, it's against Dave Franks. That is Dave Franks' first personal foul. And the second team foul here in the second half. This ball game, Allie, is so unlike other ball games the Harts have been in. The Harts are not in any kind of foul trouble as yet.
Oh, and it isn't great to feel that way.
Okay, a pass in, and Henry Brown, who has done such a great job, he reached up high and deflected that pass out of bounds. It'll still be Weston's ball. Bechtel comes out of the ball game for Weston. Coming back in is Tony Jackson. 2:39 left to go in the third quarter here at Central Connecticut State University Gym. Kaiser Hall, shot and way out by Raucher, is intended for Jackson, and a foul call against the Harts. This time it is Henry Brown. That is Henry Brown's first personal foul. However, it'll be a shooting foul, I believe. No, it's not a shooting foul. That's the third foul, and Weston will inbounds the ball from behind their own hoop. Raucher inbounds it over the far side. Pass off to Jones. Jones over the far side to Morozic. Morozic is, let's see, Dave Franks now comes up with a personal foul. Well, the Harts have picked up 3 or 4 consecutive fouls in a row here, Allie, and they got to start playing a little more cautiously. Pass into Morozic out in the midcourt. Well, outside the foul circle, it goes to Jones. Over the far side of Morozic. Morozic, he takes the shot up and no good. The rebound is snared by Calvin Glenn. Glenn with the ball to Fernando Dickens, who's in the ball game now, replacing Craig Wood for the Harts. Dickens underneath. It goes to Calvin Glenn. A reverse layup is missed. Rebound is picked up by Morozic. Morozic passes off in the forecourt to Jones. Jones with the ball to Morozic in the corner. Now a pass in underneath, deflected, rolling loose on the floor, and a scramble for it on the floor. The ball is picked up by Anthony Perry. Drives in, lays it up, misses. The rebound is picked up by Calvin Glenn. Anthony Perry tried to slam dunk it, and that time the slam dunk backfired. He didn't go up quite high enough. In the forecourt come the ball to Calvin Glenn. Out it goes to Fernando Dickens over the far side to Perry. Underneath, the ball is deflected, knocked into the hands of Anthony Perry, and a fine save by Henry Brown. kept the ball from going out of bounds. To Fernando Dickens, 125. Now Calvin Glenn, a one-hand pusher from the corner. No good. Rebound underneath. And rolling was picked up by Brown. Lays it up over the rim and good. Minute 16 left to go in the third quarter. The score is Sacred Heart 48. Weston 24. The Hearts have doubled the Weston score here in the second half. In the fourth quarter, shot by Rocher is up and good. Nice shot by Rocher on the fly. Long pass down court. Ball is stolen by Jones. Jones driving. Bounce passes off to Morozic. Shoots it up and good from the corner. 48-28. Now there are 45 seconds left to go, and Coach Eddie Generale up on the floor signifies to his team that he wants them to just hold the ball and take the last shot of the third quarter. In the forecourt with the ball, Anthony Perry out in the midcourt to Dave Franks over the far side of Fernando Dickens. Cross-court comes over this side to Anthony Perry again. Perry just holding the ball on the midcourt to Franks over the side to Perry. Perry cross-court over the far side to Franks. Now to Dickens. Dickens deep on the midcourt at the far side. 17 seconds. To Franks out in the center circle. Back to Dickens over the far side. Dickens holding the ball. 11 seconds. Cross-court over this side to Perry. Perry with the ball. Closely guarded. On the midcourt. Pivoting around. Passes off underneath to Henry Brown. Shoots it up. No good. Follow-up shot. No good. Rebound is knocked out of bounds as the buzzer sounds. We're going into the fourth and final quarter. The final 8 minutes of high school basketball. Over WATR, the Hearts lead 48-28. Here's Gary Peters.
And they're playing their type of ball game. They're not in personal foul. All they have to do is just keep their composure in the fourth quarter, and there's going to be a state championship coming back to Waterbury.
Okay, the tap at center court picked up by the Hearts. Anthony Perry with the ball in the forecourt. Closely got it now. Passes back out near midcourt to Fernando Dickens over the far side to Perry. Perry's one-hander is up. No good. A rebound is up by Calvin Glenn and in, but the basket will not count. There was a foul committed by Weston. Weston may decide to revert to fouling now. Not a shooting foul for the Hearts. Perry takes it out underneath the hoop, passes into Dave Franks on the near side. Out in the midcourt it goes to Fernando Dickens. Over the far side to Calvin Glenn. In the corner goes to Perry again. Back deep on the midcourt to Fernando Dickens. Over this side it comes to Glenn. Glenn holding the ball high over his head to Dickens. Outside the foul circle, cross court over the far side to Perry. Now into Ozzie Majel, who's in the ball game for the Hearts in the corner. Passes back out to Perry. Perry shoots up a long one. Good from the outside of the foul circle. 18 points for Anthony Perry, and the Hearts lead 50-28. 7:14 left to go in the ball game. In the forecourt with the ball. Weston, they've got the work cut out for them. They got to really cut down into this lead. Rocher with a bank shot up, missed. Rebound is picked up by Polite. He shoots it up, misses. Rebound underneath, picked up by Calvin Glenn, and a foul is called against Weston. Foul is against Jackson. A 1-1 is in effect now for the Hearts. Calvin Glenn will go to the free throw line to take a 1-1 for the Hearts. There are just 7 minutes left to go in this ball game, folks. First shot from the foul line is good by Calvin. 15 points for Calvin Glenn. He and Anthony Perry have been the steady, consistent scorers for the Hearts all season long. Second shot is good again. But in the latter part of the season, Dave Franks and Henry Brown have really done a great job in coming up with some fine scoring to help the Hearts get to where they are now. A drive-in layup shot is missed by Polite, and a foul is called against the Hearts. Foul is against Ozzie Majel. The Hearts will lose heavily from this team this year. The first 6 players, Anthony Perry, Craig Wood, Henry Brown, Calvin Glenn, Dave Franks, and Ozzie Majel, all seniors.
I don't think Eddie Generale is worried about that right now, A.V. He's enjoying these last 6 minutes and 52 seconds.
Okay, at the free throw line for Weston, Don Polite takes the first shot and drops it cleanly through. 52-29 the score. Who would ever believe that the Hearts are holding this fine Weston team to that low a score? Second shot is good, 52-30. Weston in a full court press. Anthony Perry with the ball, being triple team. Pass in the forecourt to Calvin Glenn over the far side to Fernando Dickens. Now to Henry Brown. Brown with the ball. Coasley got it at the far side. Passes out to Dickens. Cross court over this side. It comes to Perry. Perry in the near side corner to Calvin Glenn. Glenn back outside to Perry. He said, shoots it up. Good! A 22-footer from outside the foul circle by Anthony Perry, and he now has 20 points. 54-30. The Hearts have a 24-point lead. In the forecourt, driving layup shot blocked. Loose ball picked up. Shot is up and missed. Rebound is picked up in the near side corner by Ozzie Majel. Majel bounce passes off to Fernando Dickens in the backcourt. Into the forecourt, it comes to Anthony Perry. Perry driving over the far side, pass off to Henry Brown. Brown closely got it, being double-teamed. Passes off in the corner to Calvin Glenn. Glenn comes out of the corner, flips off to Dickens. Over this side, it comes to Perry. In the near side corner to Ozzie Majel. Back out to Perry. Perry with the ball, cross-court over the far side to Dickens. In the corner, it goes to Calvin Glenn. He's called traveling. 5:50 left to go in the ball game. The Weston stands are very, very quiet, and understandably so. Across the way, the Sacred Heart fans are quite happy, and understandably so there. Pass in the forecourt goes off the fingertips of Rauscher out of bounds. So Weston comes up with a turnover. Dave Franks coming back into the ball game. Craig Wood coming back into the ball game for the Hearts. And coming out of the ball game, Ozzie Majel and Fernando Dickens. And these have been the two very fine, reliable reserves for the Hearts all season long, Allie.
You know, A.V., this has not been one of the most exciting games we broadcast, but I'll tell you, I've never enjoyed one more.
Yes, I agree heartily, Allie. And we've had our share of exciting ones. In the forecourt, a pass off to Craig Wood. He lays it up, misses, gets his own rebound, and loses at the far side. No, we've had more than our share of exciting ball games, and I tell you, right about this time of the year, old AV's vocal cords are screaming for a rest. In the forecourt at the far side, Morozic passes off. Back out it comes, and it's going to be a backcourt violation, but the ball is going to be picked up by the Hearts. Anthony Perry lays it up and in, and he was fouled on the play. Anthony Perry, 22 points. And if there was any question about the outcome of this ball game, folks, I would say right now, Allie is lighting up his candy cigar. And Waterbury is going to have a state championship team. Allie, what do you think? Am I being careless about reporting this?
When the game is over, I'll tell them when I really lit up that candy cigar. And you know when it was, A.V.
No question about it. Allie was lighting his candy cigar in the second quarter at the free throw line. The shot is up and good by Anthony Perry, and now has 20. Allie, what is that, 25 points for Perry? Great ball player, Anthony Perry. 23 points. In the forecourt, ball is thrown away by Weston, and the team, of course, right now, and as we said before, understandably so, they're completely demoralized. The Hearts have outplayed Weston team right from the outset of this ball game. The Weston team has never been ahead in the ball game and tied only a couple of times in the opening seconds of play. In the fourth-quarter foul call against Jones. That is his fourth. 57-30 the score. 4:57 left to go in the game. What is it, Allie?
A.V., you can just look at the Hearts are really enjoying this game. I mean, the players themselves out on the floor, they're having a good time out there, as Bob Euchre says. Yeah,
they're having a good time.
Having a good time is right. They really are playing out there. They're loose. They're relaxed. They know they've got this one right, and they're just savoring every last minute. These six seniors know it's their last 4 minutes and 57 seconds playing in Sacred Heart uniforms, and they're just going to enjoy every bit of it. And well deserved that they do. I'll tell you, they've just played a phenomenal game. This Weston team is good. I mean, it's now no slouch team that they're beating by this point. 21-3 record coming into this game, and the Hearts are just demolishing them. Unbelievable. What a great game by Sacred Heart.
Okay, and Allie, of course, the Hearts have very, very, still vivid, I imagine, memories of a very heartbreaking loss to St. Thomas Aquinas here at this very same Kaiser Hall gym last year when they went to the finals and they lost the state championship to St. Thomas Aquinas. The Hearts kind of came back and atoned for that somewhat and got a little bit of sweet vengeance by beating St. Thomas Aquinas, knocking them out of the tournament in their last ball game in the semifinals. And now, of course, they go against going against this Weston team, and the Hearts are playing just a superb ball game. Perhaps not the best ball game that they played all season long, but they are relaxed and loose, and as Ali said, really enjoying playing this ball game because they know there's no way under the sun that in the final 4 minutes and 57 seconds of this game they're going to blow a 27-point lead. 57-30, that's the score. And at the free throw line, Calvin Glenn is going to take, well, let's see what the officials give him, a 1-and-1. Doug Jones has just fouled out of the ballgame. He's the one who fouled Calvin Glenn on that. Shot is up and missed by Glenn. The rebound picked up by Dave Franks, knocked out of bounds by Weston. And again, Weston player, and I believe it's the same one, Morozic. He seems to have it in for the guarding stands across the way. Morozic has thrown a flying block at those stanchions that hold the cords that keep the crowd off the floor. He's hit it in the first quarter, and he just hit one again here in the fourth and final period. Pass picked up, stolen by Bechtel. Bechtel passes off to Polite, drives all the way in, lays it up and good. He was fouled. Foul was against Anthony Perry, his second. Polite will go to the foul. How many points does Polite have, Allie? 9, all in the second half. Is there a double-figure score for Weston?
No.
Weston has not had a player hitting double figures, and that's a tribute to the fine Sacred Heart defense. Shot from the foul line is good. A three-point play for Polite. Long pass down court to Calvin Glenn. He goes in, lays it up over the rim, and good. This time he did not stuff it. He gave it a very tender lift over the front rim of the hoop. 59-33. In the forecourt, shot is up and missed. Anthony Perry has just been announced, has hit his 1,000-point mark of his high school career. Isn't that a fantastic thing? In the forecourt, shot by Calvin Glenn. It's missed. A rebound, knocked out of bounds, and awarded to the Hearts. Henry Brown lying down on the floor. Henry, I think, wanted a little rest. He's just taking it easy there before he gets up. Anthony Perry has just gone over the 1,000-point mark for his high school career. That's a wonderful thing. Passing to Calvin Glenn. Banks it up and good off the glass. 20 points for Calvin Glenn. 61-33. 4 minutes, 5 seconds left to go in the ball game. From now on, it's just a little more frosting on the cake for the Hearts. In the forecourt, Morozic. Cross-court pass over the side to Polite. Polite passes off to Jackson. He goes in with a bank shot up, no good. A rebound is up, no good. And a foul call against, let's see, Calvin Glenn. That is Glenn's second personal foul. Hearts in not a bit worried about picking up personal fouls now. They are just as happy as can be. I've never seen Calvin Glenn nod his head. He said, "Yes, referee, I did commit that foul." Nodded his head and acquiescent. Shot in the foul line is up and missed. Rebound picked up by Dave Franks. Dave Franks with the ball, passes down court off the fingertips of Calvin Glenn, out of bounds. 61-33. Allie, what a pleasure to broadcast Terryville State Championship game last night over WATR. Shot in the far side by Morozic is good. And this afternoon to broadcast another state championship game with Sacred Heart. Wrapping it up in 3 minutes and 25 seconds. Anthony Perry with the ball in the forecourt. Passes off underneath. The ball is rolling loose and picked up by Morozic. He is fouled in the backcourt by Dave Franks. You know, we can't say too much about the fine work performed by Dave Franks, who was practically unheard of early in the season. He came along in great fashion, came up with some very, very important and vital points for the Hearts in the latter part of the season in their state tournament games. And he and Ozzie Majo and Fernando Dickens, they've certainly done a great job, along with the big stars of Sacred Heart, Henry Brown, Anthony Perry, Calvin Glenn at the free throw line. Shot is up and good by Morozic. Allie?
You know, Eddie Generali didn't even take off his jacket tonight. Yeah, he's even sitting down on the bench. Eddie's enjoying this one. I know that.
Well, who isn't enjoying this one? After all, we did suffer with the Hearts last year in their state tournament loss to St. Thomas Aquinas. And for a little poetic justice, perhaps, a traveling violation call in the forecourt against the Hearts. And they're not that concerned. They lead 61-37. 3 minutes, 11 seconds left to go in the ballgame. Roucher down over the middle in the forecourt. Pass off to Morozic. Shot is blocked by Henry Brown. From behind there, another shot blocked. And now a foul call against Weston as Hearts came down with the ball. Let's see who committed the foul for Weston. Foul is against Morozic. So they march down to the Sacred Heart end of the floor, which is the basket to our left. Going to be Craig Wood going to the free throw line for 1-1. And Allie, you know, you got to give Craig Wood a lot of credit for playing with an injured ankle. I don't know how bad it was, but he hasn't shown any signs too much of suffering too much from that ankle injury.
Well, I'll tell you, A.V., I think if Craig Wood could walk today, he was going to play. He'd just come too far to miss this final championship game. And I talked to him in the locker room before the game, and he was getting taped up then, and Craig was ready. He wanted to play very, very badly.
Okay, Craig Wood's shot at the foul line is missed, and the rebound is fought by the jump ball, and tap over this side is picked up by Anthony Perry. Perry has the ball knocked out of his hands out of bounds. It'll still be the Hearts ball. 2:52 left to go in the ball game. And from here on in, of course, and from a long time here on in, it's been purely academic as far as the final score is concerned, as far as the winning is concerned. The pass in underneath to Calvin Glenn. Oh, a reverse layup by Calvin Glenn. Up and over the rim just as gently as you please. And it's a 63-37 ball game. The Hearts leading with 2:33 left to go. Bechtel underneath. He is fouled by Henry Brown. Bechtel will go to the free throw line for a pair. Coming out of the ball game for the Hearts, Craig Wood gets a nice hand from the Hearts fans. Coming out of the ball game for Weston is Rauscher. Youngster played a fine ball game in a losing cause. At the free throw line, shot by Bechtel is up and good. Ozzie Majel comes in. Dave Franks comes out of the ball game for the Hearts. And Franks gets a nice hand. Franks holds up a finger, signifying their number one. Second shot from the foul line is good by Bechtel. It's a 63-39 ball game. In the forecourt, Anthony Perry with the ball. Passes cross-court over the far side to Fernando Dickens. Dickens will be back next year for the Hearts. Those of you Sacred Heart fans wonder what the Hearts are going to have back. They're going to have, let's say there's a foul call against Weston. And now Henry Brown coming out of the ball game. And he gets a standing ovation. What a fine season this young man has had. And what a great game he played tonight, just intimidating those Weston players with his defensive play and blocking shots. At the free throw line, Calvin Glenn's shot is up and good. Glenn now has what, 23 points. And how many does Perry have? 23 points, and that's the 1-2 scoring punch for the Hearts all season long. Perry and Glenn, both with 23 points in this ball game tonight. They have been absolutely great. Second shot by Calvin Glenn is good. And he has 24, and he comes out of the ball game. Listen to this. Calvin Glenn. How the local sports fans are going to miss him next year with his fine outside playing. Traveling violation call against Weston. And now, coming out of the ball game, Anthony Perry. Sacred Hearts team of next year is in there with Chris O'Toole, Chris Monroe. Pass underneath to Riddleman. Riddleman's shot is missed. The follow-up shot is good by Ozzie Majel. Ozzie Majel will not be back next year. He's the only senior left out on the floor now playing for the Hearts. In the forecourt, pass into Jackson. Has the ball knocked out of his hands. Rolling loose. Still rolling loose. Picked up by Jackson. He goes up and slam dunks it. But it's a mild slam dunk, friend. It wasn't a happy slam dunk. 67-41 the score, and let's see if there's a foul call against the Hearts. Next year, I started to tell you, next year the Hearts will have Fernando Dickens back. He's a junior. Chris Monroe, a sophomore. Chris O'Toole, a sophomore. Ray Casitas, big fellow at 6'8". If this man comes along, he could be a big help to Sacred Heart next year. He's a sophomore, 6 feet 8 inches tall. Johnny Massimo, 6'2" sophomore. Rob Lamontagne, 6'1" sophomore, and Lance Brown, a 6-foot sophomore, along with Pete Riddleman. I'm not sure what year Pete Riddleman is. I believe he's a lower classman, either freshman or a sophomore. At the free throw line, Lance Brown going to take a 1-and-1. Set, shoots it up, misses. The rebound is picked up by Morozic. Morozic is fouled in the backcourt by Chris Monroe. 1:29 left to go on the ball. I understand, Allie, that the Sacred Heart team is going to have a police escort when they come into the city, and they're going to, the motor patrol is going to drive around the green 3 times.
Well, I would say if people in Waterbury are interested, probably about 45 minutes after we go off the air, go down to the center of Waterbury, and you may see a little excitement as the Sacred Heart team brings back the first state championship in 17 years to the city of Waterbury.
All right, okay, Morozic at the free throw line, drops in the first, and he misses the second. Rebound picked up by Chris O'Toole, knocked out of his hands. Morozic shoots it up, and good. 67-44. And by the way, folks, the winner of the Warren Sampson Award goes to the outstanding player in the Class M championship game, and his name is Anthony Perry. And this was by a vote of the sports writers and sports, well, the sportscaster here at the New Britain, Central Connecticut State University gym. At the free throw line, Rentleman shoots it up and misses. The rebound is picked up by Weston. Minute 10 left to go. That's all there is left to go before this place erupts with a lot of joyful Sacred Heart fans. And they're here en masse, too, today. Long shot on the outside is missed. The rebound underneath is picked up by Ozzie Majel, passed off to Chris Monroe, gets it down over the middle in the forecourt. Passes cross court to Fernando Dickens. Dickens with the ball, passes off underneath to Chris O'Toole. He goes in with a layup. It's good. The basket counts, and O'Toole will go to the free throw line to see if he can make it a 3-point play. 69-44. 45 seconds left to go in the ball game. Now Morozic comes out of the game, and he gets a fine hand from the Weston fans. And now Fernando Dickens comes out of the game for Sacred Heart, and he gets a nice hand from the Sacred Heart fans. Shot in the foul line is missed by Chris O'Toole. Gets his own rebound, goes in underneath, and he is fouled again. Chris O'Toole, he'll be one of the Sacred Heart players to keep an eye on next year. Chris looks like he might develop into a good ball player. He's only a sophomore. He and Chris Monroe should make the forward combination for the Hearts next year. First shot by O'Toole is good. And Chris O'Toole very happy about making 3 points in state championship tournament play. Second shot is up, missed. Rebound is up and good by Johnny Massimo. Oh, the Sacred Heart reserves are getting a chance to taste some state tournament scoring action. 30 seconds left to go in the ball game. Hearts lead 72-44. Shot is up and missed. Follow-up shot is up and good by number 31, Bradford. In the forecourt, there's a charge foul call against Sacred Heart's Lance Brown. 18 seconds left to go in the ball game. Now Ray Casitas has come into the ball game for Sacred Heart. Gosh, he is big, Allie. You know it? 6'8", the biggest player actually in the city of Waterbury. And if he develops and he grows another inch, who knows? In the forecourt, shot is missed by 8 seconds left to go. Shot is missed and knocked out of bounds. 8 seconds left to go, and you'll hear the Sacred Heart fans. You'll hear the Sacred Heart fans across the way counting the seconds. Shot is up and good. 4, 3, 2, 1. Sacred Heart are the new Class M state champions for 1984. 17 long years since the Hearts have won that title, and are they happy? Yes, and there's a happy scene out on the floor as the Sacred Heart players, in a gesture of good sportsmanship, are shaking hands with the Weston players. The Hearts never got behind in this ball game as they did in the first ball game. They were behind 11-2 against this Weston team the first time they met. Well, the Hearts showed that they had the stuff that champions are made of in that ball game and overcame that 11-point deficit and then rolled on to a 20-point win, showing that they had the ability to do it, and they showed it again tonight, winning this ball game by a very, very comfortable margin. Well, right now the trophy's out on the floor, and they're going to be awarded to the state champions of Sacred Heart. And right now, Henry Brown hugging Coach Eddie Generali out there. Man, I want to tell you what joyful scenes these are for these ball players. They've had a long, hard year of workouts, training, practicing. Eddie Generali worrying and working, wondering what's going to happen, wondering if he's going to have injuries on his ball club to hurt the team's chances. But right now, the CIAC officials are awarding their runner-up trophies to the Weston team, and they go out one by one to receive their trophies as runner-ups in the Class M State Championship finals. And they're getting a nice hand from their very disappointed fans who had some very happy moments throughout the season as Weston ran through 23 wins or 22 wins and suffered only 4 losses. The Hearts, by winning tonight or this afternoon, now have, let's see, how many wins have the Hearts got now, Allie?
I believe that's 22, and I think it's a new Sacred Heart record as far as wins are concerned. 22 and 4.
Well, one thing is for sure, Sacred Heart has got a record now for state championships in the city of Waterbury. They got 2 within the past 17 years. The only other team in the city to win 2 state championships was Wilby back in 1923 and again in 1953. Kennedy, which originally was Croft and originally was Leavenworth, did not win the state championship, but they did go on to win the New England championship back in 1946-47 era. And now the Sacred Heart team is being awarded their #1 trophies, and they're going out one by one. Allie, have you made arrangements to bring the team up here? I know you've been doing a good job with the coaches. We want to get the players up here, too.
We'll get them up. I think they have a very pleasant duty to perform in cutting the nets down, and I wouldn't want to deprive them of that moment. That's a grand and glorious moment that they've waited a long time for, and I know Eddie Generali receiving the trophy now as the state championship hold is over his head with his tri-captains Calvin Glenn, Henry Brown, and Anthony Perry, and they received the game ball.
All right, and Eddie Generali holds the trophy up and shows it to the WATR sports crew. And boy, there is joy here at Kaiser Hall Gym in New Britain at the Central Connecticut State University. And now, as Ali said, that happy moment of cutting down the nets. And each player will go in and take a snip at one of the cords. They climb the ladder. Last night, the Terryville team did the same thing, and Dave Franks went up first. Henry Brown going up now, takes his little snip with the scissors. And now, Allie, supposing you describe this situation.
Well, we know that net is going to go in Sacred Heart's Hall of Fame, most certainly, as Calvin Glenn climbs up the ladder now and cuts his strip of the net. I'll tell you, Calvin Glenn was up there all night. Henry Brown was up there. You know, that most valuable player went to Anthony Perry tonight, but I'll tell you, I voted for a few Sacred Heart ball players because I think they all played a great game. Henry Brown, probably one of the, even though he didn't score that many points tonight, with the number of rebounds and block shots he had, just intimidating underneath there. Fabulous night. Well, we're going to get Father Coleman coming up here as soon as he can. Right now, Chris O'Toole going up, cutting a little strip out. We had Henry Brown cut his strip of the net out. Sacred Heart ball players just gathered around. They've got a ladder set up, by the way, for these players to do that, so they don't hop on each other's shoulders in order to try and do that. And we see
very dear friend of ours holding that ladder, Allie, Frank Marietta, who's been here at Central Connecticut for so many, many years, I think about at least 40. And he's the head custodian here. And we remember Frank Marietta when he used to officiate high school basketball games some 40-odd years ago, and games that we were broadcasting. And gosh, I can't believe it's 40 years ago. Now Eddie Generali is going to go
Eddie
up.
Generali, the last cut on this first net is going to go to Eddie Generali, and you're going to hear a roar when that net comes down as Eddie goes through and takes his little swipe, and you hear Eddie, 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 the chant across the way. And here it comes. The net is just about ripped, and you're going to hear a roar. As Eddie Generali cuts down the net, holds it above his head, and boy, I'll tell you, Eddie's got a smile from ear to ear. He is one happy coach out there, and you know, we talked at length in the dressing room before the ball game, and Eddie, I'll tell you, he was so nervous, but you know, he told me, we of course don't want to say, he said, we're going to win this one, Ellie. He said, we're going to win this one. We aren't coming home second place tonight. And now Eddie Generali is pointing to his team to come up to the broadcasting booth, and we're going to have a lot of happy Sacred Heart basketball players coming up here in just a very short while. And leading the way is Anthony Perry, and Ray Casitas, here he is. Anthony Perry. Anthony, tremendous game. Dave Franks, Calvin Glenn. What a great game. Henry Brown, intimidating. I'll tell you. First of all, okay. Who's the oldest here? We'll go with Anthony.
He's oldest.
Anthony, congratulations on the most valuable player. And I'll tell you the truth. I had to vote for every one of the team as a valuable player. This was just a fantastic ball game.
Thanks a lot. We prepared well for it. And it was our senior year. We lost it last year, but we told Coach, we promised him that we'd come back and take it for him this year, and that's all I can say right now. Thanks a lot. I'd like to say hello to the fellas in McBride's.
And Anthony Perry, I believe you went over 1,000 points in your career tonight. That's quite an achievement. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
And now Calvin Glenn, a fellow who was up over the rim all night tonight or this afternoon. Calvin, how do you feel right now?
Feel good, real good.
Calvin, how soon did you know you had this team beat?
When we first got on the court, their coaches was writing all in the paper all week long that it wasn't going to be the same thing, but history repeated itself again as it did 10 days ago when we beat them by 21 the first time.
And, of course, Calvin wound up as high scorer tonight with 24 points. Calvin, you had a tremendous tournament and a tremendous season. Did you know at the start of the season you had a feeling you were going to take it this year?
I had a feeling. We had plans since our sophomore year that we was going to win it our senior year, if not our junior and senior year combined. That was our goal in our 4 years of high school, to win.
Just a great job for Calvin Glenn. Now we got Henry Brown in front of our sports microphones. Henry, I have to say this, and I mean this in all honesty. I thought tonight, you may have scored more, but I thought tonight's ball game that you played was the best that I have seen you. You intimidated that team. You absolutely intimidated them under the board. Blocked about 6 or 7 shots in the first quarter, and those players were afraid to shoot out there. How'd you feel?
Well, I said they was inexperienced at the beginning of the game. I told Coach they were all ducks, and that there was nothing to worry about because Coach sometimes gets nervous at the beginning of the game. So I just felt that, their inexperience would, beat them in the long run.
Right. It seems as though you had very little trouble, much less trouble boxing them out on the board tonight than you did in the first time you played them.
Yeah, they seemed to be a little nervous, being that, it was their first tournament game, and you could tell that they were a little nervous, and they were, they really didn't, had the feel of the game.
And now we'd like to bring Dave Franks to the sports microphone. Dave, as Henry Brown steals the championship trophy away from Dave, I wish we had this was television so you could see the smile from ear to ear on Dave Franks' face. Dave, you've been another intimidating force for the Hearts underneath the boards. They look at you out there, and you, boy, prove what you look like because you just played a fantastic basketball tournament, Dave. I think you've never played better basketball than I've seen you play in this tournament. You've just been inspiring to that team.
Well, thank you. First of all, I'd like to give thanks to God, because without him we wouldn't be here. And I'd like to thank Coach Generali because, all the hard work and stuff that he put us through and the breaks and stuff and the Sunday morning practices. And I'd like to say hello to my mom, my dad, and to all the fellas at Walnut Gents. I'd like to say hello. Thank you.
Dave, we want to keep you here for just a second. What did Coach Generali tell you before the game? Now, here's a team that you had beaten by 21 points before. What did he tell you in order not to have you get too overconfident?
Well, he told us, he said that he thought it could be as easy as it was the first time, but he said for us to remember the Naugatuck game, and that was on everybody's mind. and we were going to come out like we never played this team before. And so it happened, it turned out to be the same type of ball game, but it was much easier from the start this time.
All right, you started out, yeah, they didn't get ahead of you. You stayed pretty much close to them until you broke it open midway through the first quarter. How'd you feel at that point when you saw the score starting to roll up?
Well, it felt good on the inside, but I knew the game wasn't over, until the fat lady sing. We couldn't get overconfident or anything. We went in halftime, and everyone was still solid. We knew we didn't play the best we could, and we came out in the third quarter. We looked a little raggedy in the beginning, and then we started putting things together, and stuff started falling for us.
Great. Well, just a fantastic tournament, Dave, and our congratulations to you and the whole Sacred Heart team. I want to see if we can get Craig Wood up here. He's the only one we didn't have from the starting team. If you can find him and send him up to us, because we'll be up here for a while. And, well, first of all, we want to get if there's one man with a bigger smile than any Generale here tonight, it's got to be Father Coleman, the principal of Sacred Heart. Father, what a great moment in Sacred Heart history.
It certainly is, Al and Allie. You two have brought so much to the city of Waterbury in the spirit over this cold winter by broadcasting the games, but tonight it all came to, tonight is springtime. We really feel so much alive in the whole spirit of things, and they did certainly a great job. And this is a tribute and a victory to the whole city of Waterbury. We don't have a gym, and we won the state title. We don't have a pool, and we won the state title. But it's because of the whole city of Waterbury doing things together that this night was possible.
Well, Father, the team they knew it when they went out there. I talked to Eddie before the ball game in the locker room. He was confident. He knew he could beat this team. He had to keep the team from getting a little overconfident, of course, because we saw what happened last night with Terryville here. They beat a team that beat them by 21 points earlier in the season. But the Hearts went out there. There was never any doubt, was there?
Yes, there was. Until the final buzzer, I was sitting over there wondering, and I don't know. I've been at games where teams have come back from great deficits, so I was concerned.
That's ye of little faith. I think I quote some book that I read once.
Yeah. But I wait for the end. Well, here comes Craig Wood.
Here's Craig Wood.
Thank you very
Okay,
much.
Father Coleman. Craig Wood, the only member of the starting team we haven't had up here yet. Craig, I saw you getting taped in the locker room before the game. You were going to play this game. No way you're going to miss this championship game with a sprained ankle.
No way. I came a long way, It's like, hey, we deserve it the best, So, yeah, Sacred Heart #1.
Right. Craig, their guards are very speedy out there, but you seem to have very little trouble with them tonight. They wouldn't take the shot from the outside, so you and Anthony Perry kind of fell back and packed the middle. Was that Eddie Generale's coaching on that?
Yeah, we had to have quickness, Had to get back, and for them, because they can penetrate very well, So we had to do that. Coach.
Okay. How's that ankle feel right now?
Burning. Burning bad.
You got a long time to let it heal, though, Craig. How's it feel to be a state champion?
Oh, it feels great. Very great.
Okay, we know you want to go down in the locker room and celebrate with the rest of the boys, and we're going to get the pretty Sacred Heart cheerleaders here who spurred you on to victory all season long. Okay, and the girls say they have a question.
Who's #1?
Well, Sacred Heart, absolutely. All right, let's get all the Sacred Heart cheerleaders here and have you give us your name as you come by.
Julia Fernandez.
Julia, okay. Julia.
Karen Kasowitz.
Karen Kasowitz, all right.
Lorraine Sports here.
Lorraine Forty. Where's the rest of the girls? They're all going away. All right. Yeah, you saw the stands. The stands got really excited there, didn't they?
Put the pressure. I mean, my head was swelling. I was so nervous. But then once I got going, I was all right. And I was so glad to be here, too, after my injury, falling off the pyramid and everything.
But it's okay, now here comes the coach. All right. Eddie Generale, I'll tell you, it's all over, babe. You won it.
How sweet it is. The only other time I think I've been happier is maybe when my son was born. That's it. I can't compare it to anything else.
Never any sweat in tonight's ball game. They took it right from the opening tap and went with it. You never even took off your jacket in tonight's game.
I loosened the tie a little bit, but I'll tell you, these guys, the seniors, when they were sophomores, promised me their senior year they would win it all. And with a lot of hard work, they did it. They're a credit to Waterbury, credit to our school, and I think all of Waterbury ought to rejoice after 17 years.
That's right. It's been a long time. Eddie, I said during the ball game, I've seen more exciting games, but never one I enjoyed more.
Oh, I thought it was real exciting. What are you talking about? I thought it was real exciting.
Eddie, when you got up by 4 points, then 6 points in the first quarter, did you feel at that time you had it pretty much in the bag?
Well, I didn't think we had it in the bag, but I knew that we were prepared. You know, that gave me the sign. I could see that we weren't nervous, and we weren't taking this team for granted by any means, and that put me a little bit more at ease, let's put it that way.
And then you went into halftime with a 15-point lead and absolutely no one in anywhere near personal foul trouble. That, to me, was the most exciting thing.
They waited till the last game of the year. Every game this year we've had foul trouble, and this game they don't foul, and they just did everything right. It was unbelievable.
Eddie, I know it's a tremendous amount of pressure. A few rows in front of us here is Art Ham, who won the game last night for Terryville. He's the Terryville coach. I'll tell you, he was as nervous as a cat before the game when I interviewed him last night. Of course, you didn't want to get overconfident, but I know must have been very little sleep gotten last night.
Oh, yeah. I mean, very little sleep, very little eating. But I'm just glad we weren't playing St. Thomas Aquinas tonight. You know, it was that type of a deal. I was nervous but confident. That's right. I'll tell you, we played some tough teams on the way up here, you know, and the kids really worked hard. Although the championship game wasn't a close game, I mean, we've had them right through the tournament, and the kids have proven that they could play with anybody.
And, you know, they've borne out. I'll tell you, I congratulate you for doing something for me. As you know, Eddie, as the only one that put Sacred Heart in the top 10 this year. And I received a lot of flack from some sports writers around the state because I told them Sacred Heart was one of the best in the state. And they said, well, we'll see. And you certainly proved me true.
Well, Al, I thank you for the confidence you put in us. And I told the kids all through the season, the only time you want to be in the top 10 poll is after the season. And if we're not in it on Tuesday, I don't know who's going to be in it.
That's the one that counts. And we got Mrs. Generali right here, Eddie's wife. You got a bigger hand than Eddie did.
I know.
I think you suffered more this season than Eddie did, if that's possible.
Yeah, but it's all worth it now. Every bit of it. Every bit.
We're going to have a long time to enjoy this one, aren't we?
A long time. It's wonderful.
Were you ever nervous any time during the ball game after the tap? Because I thought
I'll tell you.
You and Father Coleman. I don't know.
Right.
I thought an AV senior knows. I lit up the cigar early in the second quarter, and even though AV senior wouldn't say it, he said, "No, it's too early. It's too early." But the Hearts looked well in control, and as I say, it made for a lot less tension on this particular stomach, and we're going to do some celebrating now, aren't we?
That's
you better believe
it. A lot of it.
Now I believe there's going to be a motorcade going back to Waterbury, so in about maybe a half hour or 45 minutes
wrap up a lot of equipment
after we get to after we sign off the air, we'll be heading back to Waterbury. Eddie, on behalf of the city of Waterbury, on behalf of our sports crew, a tremendous job done. You know, winning a state champion, even though you may be favored to do it, is still a great accomplishment because there's breaks that are needed. We've seen a lot of teams, great teams, go down to defeat, but the kids held up. They played great ball, and I thought you coached a superb state tournament.
Thank you, Al. The kids would not be denied. They just wouldn't. And I just hope after 17 years, maybe we broke the ice, and I hope somebody else in the city gets up here next year and wins another state championship for Waterbury.
Great. Thank you very much, Eddie Generali, head coach of Sacred Heart. And now just a quick word from the coach's father, Mario Generali, great sportsman in the city of Waterbury. Mario, how do you feel on this moment?
I just feel great. I'm glad he didn't forget anything I taught him, you know. He did a wonderful job. I'm just so proud of him. I can't say enough about it.
And I think you got something to be real proud of there, Mario. And we're going to go do some celebrating now ourselves. Congratulations.
I'll be there. Thank you very much, Alex.
Okay, very quickly with the scoring totals. Anthony Perry led the way for Sacred Heart with 23. Calvin Glenn with 24. Anthony Perry with 23. Henry Brown had 8. Dave Franks 4. Craig Wood had 4. Chris O'Toole 3. Fernando Dickens, Ossie Majel, John Massimo with 2 points apiece for the Hearts. Scoring, the Sacred Heart had it all the way from the first quarter. They led 14-6. In the second period, they outscored Weston 16-9. They led 30-15 at halftime. In the third quarter, the Hearts outscored Weston 18-13. Take a 48-20 lead into the fourth quarter, and it was all academic at that point. Sacred Heart scoring 24 to Weston's 20. The Hearts win it, the first championship back to Waterbury in 17 years, a 72-48 trouncing of Weston.
Okay, Allie, and for the last time this season, anyway, we'd like to express our deep appreciation to the fine folks who were so instrumental in bringing all these games your way all season long. First Federal State